So I'm now sewing up my little wrist warmer to make the tube. The one that I've got here, you can see I've left a thumb hole gap of around 2 inches. So I've got it working my way up the seam, and with that tail end I've threaded it into my tapestry needle, and then I'm placing the needle through from front to back the stitch right across the stitch, the V's, and then going across to the corresponding one on the other side to make a flat seam stitch. It's called a whip stitch, so it's just going straight over and across. At this point you can try it on. It'll be the other way round. You can try it on your hand, and you will be joining the top, so you want to decide how high you want your wrist warmer to be, whether you want it to be over your knuckles or you want it a little bit lower down. So I usually at this stage take my needle off and then start working from the top end so that you can get a good idea of where you want to join the seam. So let me show you how I would join from the top. Thread my tail end into my needle and then make a secure join at the top. I'm just going to go back over that one because you can see there's a rather loose loop, so just go across one more step to there to make it nice and neat, and then use that same stitch that I used at the bottom end. So I'm going right across through the V and to there, and again into the next. Now the top doesn't need very many stitches because of course it's just that top little bit up by your thumb, so that might be enough. Let me just quickly slip that on and see. Yes, you can see I don't really need many stitches there. I'm going to do actually one more because it does look a little bit short. So one more stitch. And then just double back on yourself to make it nice and secure. And then again at this stage I can now go back to the lower thread, so you're sort of going back and forth, just going as high as you wish at this point. So I'm just going to do one more stitch here and then secure that. Then I darn in those ends nice and neatly on the back just so they don't come undone. A couple of times, and then I can snip off those ends, and then the same at the other end. Now that I'm happy with the size of that hole, I can then darn off that little tail end into the back of the work just to make it nice and secure. And I would snip off all those ends. And once you've taken your thread out, and I would snip off those, turn it inside out, and then you can place it on your hand. So the next step is working the cuff and the top and the cuff borders. So in the next video I'll show you how to do that.